home thinking, how can I use my time? Now, sometimes you need to sit around and get some rest, but not all the time, okay? So, you can be active in the food bank. There's some ministries that the church has that, so you don't have to even think, well, what am I going to do? There's some active ministries already you could be involved in. That's one. Another way I use my time, because I want to be involved, um, and I like to talk about this every year, especially at the beginning of the year, just think about this. One of the ministries of the Seventh-day Adventist Church is the schools. The schools are a ministry of the church. They're not a separate entity. So don't just think, well, that's a school that parents send their kids to and our church supports. It's not like that. The schools are a ministry of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Now, I want to read to you a little bit from my phone. I need to pull it up about the purpose of Adventist education. Okay? All right. Purpose of Adventist education. Number one, it seeks to develop a life of faith in God and respect for the dignity of all human beings, to build character akin to that of the Creator, to nurture thinkers. Two, to encourage students to learn, grow, and explore their world, encircled by the safe boundaries of caring teachers, curated curriculum. That means a specialized curriculum. Okay? In other words, a specialized curriculum does not teach that the world came about because of evolution. It's a curated, specialized curriculum based on God's Word. Okay? And relevant activities. The purpose of Adventist education has always been to train young people for service. Now, this is the key. Service in the mission fields, both at home and abroad. Now, how does that relate to us? Well, sometimes you might think, well, I don't have time to go on a mission project. Or do I have the resources? Maybe I can't get off work. I was faced with that challenge last year. I got some emails, and there were some wonderful mission trips that I would love to go on. Okay, one was to South America, one was to Mexico, but I could not fit it into my schedule. Okay, so I think, well, you could do mission work here at home. All right, and sometimes the schools serve as a mission field in your own community. Not all students that attend the Adventist schools come from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. There's students that are not members of the church, but they come into the school and they're nurtured there and they grow spiritually. And there are people that join the church because of attending the Seventh-day Adventist school. Pastor Cartagi was one of them. Okay? What was his background before? He's Muslim. He told me a story one day when we were at Silver Beach. All right? Elder JD, he's the head elder of the United Filipino Church, which meets on the campus of East Valley. He also came into the church as a result of attending the Seventh-day Adventist school. So when we're supporting the schools, we are supporting kind of a mission in our own community. Okay? Now, what can you do? Well, I'm going to tell you what I do. I've been elected to my 10th term as a school board chairman. And I was kind of thinking, well, maybe it's time for me to retire. But the Lord had a different plan. And I was just elected this past Thursday. I opened up the elections. I was hoping that maybe a pastor, because I thought, well, if we get the pastors that serve as chairman, it'll bring the churches more involved in the school. But they had a lot of different reasons why they couldn't accept a chairmanship or vice chairmanship. Busy schedule. And I know some pastors get busy. So I'm entering my 10th term. So I just ask for your prayers as I'm involved in the school chairmanship again. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just letting you know this is what's going on, okay? Another way I help the schools is sometimes when I'm there, like last Thursday, I went up to the roof, used the blower to blow off the leaves, because when the leaves accumulate on the roof, it starts to leak, right? The way the water can drain off. So different tasks. My wife also has volunteered at East Valley when it fits into her work schedule by doing some gardening at the school, doing some cleaning up. The schools are always in need of volunteers. That's the point. So if you have free time and you want to do something, look at your local school, which is a mission or arm of the church. Do some volunteer work. I also got put on the substitute list. The Adventist schools, they're always looking for substitutes. They don't seem to have enough substitutes. Now, why do they need substitutes? Because sometimes their staff needs to take a day off, like the rest of us, to attend to personal business. Okay? So I sub at two schools, at East Valley and also West Covina Hills. All right? To be a substitute, if you have a bachelor's degree, you like working with kids, and maybe some teaching experience before different levels, you could apply as a substitute. Okay? And of course, the fingerprint and that child abuse video that I've been talking to a lot of you about as the risk management director for over a year now, watching that video. So get some training. So the point is, there are activities for us to be involved in that are already existing. You don't have to think, in case you're not that creative, what new activity could I start up? Look around for existing activities, and these are personal ministry activities.